welcome back to another episode of the It's Just Different podcast, man. And before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And today we are going to discuss the Michigan defense. And before we get started, though, Nico Collins has finally spoken out about why he hasn't returned to the University of Michigan. And he pretty much put to bed that he will not be returning to Michigan this season. He's done. He's moving towards the pros. And basically, in a nutshell, was told Adam Schefter on Adam Schefter podcast that, hey, you know, the whole COVID situation when they canceled the season pretty much damaged his whole thought process about coming back for his senior season, and that he really was looking forward to the season, but they never really get a concrete date. We remember when they canceled the season, they said, the Big Ten said, hey, we're not coming back. And then so he said, hey, okay, well, I gotta do what's best for me and my family. So he moved on, and they came back again and said, well, hey, let's try this all over again. So he was kind of like, what, man, an 8-game season, I don't know how this is going to go, when they're going to play. And at this time, it was kind of too late when they made a decision to come back. He was kind of like, well, you know what, I don't really trust it. Anything can happen, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. So, it's going to be a bummer not seeing number 4 out there. Number 1. He was going to wear number 1 this season, and he was my favorite player on the roster personally, and I wanted to see him come back and beat Ohio State. That was my whole thought process before the season started. I wanted to see Nico Collins get his win against Ohio State because this guy is a big time player and he shows up. He doesn't drop big balls. He doesn't drop big catches in big games, and so a lot of guys in Michigan tend to do that when the rubber meets the fire and rubber meets the road, and he's not one of those guys. He's a big play guy. He's a big body guy. Throw it up to me, let me go catch it at the top, and a lot of receivers last year had a problem with that, but it wasn't Nico Collins. So I wanted to see him go out on a high note against a rival, but it never happened. So, all blessings to him and what the future holds for him. But he also said something interesting about Joe Milton. All the Joe Milton hype that's been going out there, he's, the arm, the legendary arm that everybody says he has. And Adam Schefter said, hey, I heard that he has the ability to be the number 1 pick, not a first-round draft pick, the number 1 pick in the NFL draft whenever he comes out. And Nico Collins said, well, I 100% agree with that. I think he has the ability. He reminds him of Cam Newton, another Cam Newton comparison. And he said that, hey, it's his time, it's his season. You can really tell that he's about that this year. And I can't wait. I'm excited to see his first starting this Saturday against the Minnesota Gophers, and hey, man, we'll see what happens. But let's get to this defensive depth chart, because I know a lot of you guys are worried about the defense. Man, we're losing a lot on the defense. Well, here's the deal. The one constant under the Harbaugh era has been Don Brown. The problem with Don Brown is he tends to not play his best against the university. We know what university I'm talking about there. So, hey, man, we're going to get into the starters, what the projected starters will be. No one really knows until they get out there on Saturday night. So, hey, we're going to do weak side defensive end, Kwity Paye, senior. Everybody should know who he is. His backup will be Luigi Villain. On the other side is Aiden Hutchinson. We know who that guy is. Julius Welshoff is his backup. I never heard much about this guy, but Don Brown seems to be praising him every chance he gets. Then you go on the inside, where we're pretty much, that's where I think they need help at. But we have former 5-star Christopher Hinton and Carlo Kemp, who's a senior. Those guys are going to be the starters, and then we have Donovan Jeter and Mozzie Smith as their backups, and then Jess Spate backing up those guys, and whatever he gets a shot. But at Viper, we got Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett is no surprise. This guy's really, really fast. Waited his time, finally got his turn. Um, Middle linebacker Cam McGrone, we all seen him coming to his own last season. One of the best linebackers in the Big Ten. We're gonna go with Josh Ross is another linebacker. He flies all over the field. He was one that a lot of people thought was going to go to the draft, but he decided to come back. Um, DJ Turner at cornerback, redshirt freshman. Um, Slated as a starter right now, but we'll see. Um, we have Vincent Gray, also slated as a starter. Um, we have Jermon Green and also Sammy Faustin. Those guys are slated to get a lot of time. So we'll see, man. Sammy Faustin switched positions actually. He was a safety and he went to cornerback. So I don't know. You know, I think we might have a little trouble to start the season at defensive back, but all I know is that these guys are really fast. A lot of these guys are unknown. Vincent Gray played last year, but a lot of these guys are unknown, and but they have a lot of speed. And then you go to the safeties, the anchors of the defense, Brad Hawkins, senior. Then we have former 5-star Daxton Hill, who Jim Harbaugh says might be the best player on the team. And then they have at nickelback Andre Sheldon, who's a true freshman. This kid can flat out ball. I watched him in the Under Armour game last season, and he took on Ohio State's #1 recruit, was a 5-star receiver, and he took him on one-on-one and did a fantastic job against him in the game. And so I think he has a bright future. If you're looking towards next year defensive backs, we're going to be fine. We're looking at a couple 5-star DBs who have Michigan highly ranked on their list of schools. So they're in great positions to upgrade at the cornerback position as soon as possible. But as far as this season goes, again, Don Brown says this might be his fastest team, just speed-wise. I believe it is. But it's all about experience. A lot of guys don't have experience in the back end. So I won't be surprised if Minnesota goes out there and just see what happens. Just try some guys, throw some deep balls, throw some slants, just to see what Michigan's working with on that side of the ball. You know, Michigan is always highly ranked on defense. You know, the defensive line and linebackers is where it's going to be, especially the linebackers. I think the linebackers are going to be tremendous. They got speed everywhere, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see this defense go out there on Saturday night and show people that, hey, man, we lost guys, but we just like any other school, we lose them, we plug some guys back in, and we go at it. And hey, man, Don Brown, this is you. I honestly thought he was getting fired after the last game, after the last Ohio State game. But you know, he has another year. Harbaugh 6th, his 5th. So let's see what happens in these big games, man. Another big game under the lights at Minnesota. It's not the same without a crowd, but hey, it's a big game against a ranked opponent. Don Brown, you got to do your job, man. We're looking forward to it. I'll see y'all again, man, next time. Peace.